Thank you for joining us today. We are going to be talking about leveraging credit to invest, the mindset of the wealthy. So before we get too into it, I want to just let you know that these are examples, not advice or recommendations. Now, before talking about leveraging credit, we are going to talk about fractional reserve banking. That way you can get a better understanding as to why some people choose to go that way. Now, fractional reserve banking is a system in which only a fraction of bank deposits are backed by actual cash on hand and available for withdrawal. This is done to theoretically expand the economy by freeing capital for lending. By the way, this information would be coming from Investopedia. They are not sponsors of this video. Now, I am just going to play a video here. It's about a minute and a half. It's going to show an illustration as to how fractional reserve banking works.
Banking is the banking system most countries use today. It requires banks to hold only a fraction of the money their customers deposit. That amount is the reserve requirement, and in most countries it is set by the central bank. Banks can loan the rest of their deposits to other customers, which serves to expand the economy. It works like this. Banks accept deposits from individuals and businesses, providing them with savings and checking accounts in return. Banks can loan out the bulk of those deposits to other customers to buy homes or cars, start businesses, or to fund other projects. If a customer deposits $100,000 into a bank and the reserve requirement is 5%, the bank can loan $95,000 out to other customers. Once the bank has loaned out $95,000, it in essence has created $195,000. Customers borrow that $95,000 and deposit some or all of it into other banks. If the reserve requirement is still 5%, then the other banks can loan $90,250 to new customers, and the process keeps repeating itself. Financial crisis occurs when the fractional banking system breaks down and the money supply does not expand. Many U.S. banks had to shut down during the Great Depression because so many people attempted to withdraw their money at the same time. Today, safeguards exist to prevent such an occurrence.
We now understand that fractional reserve banking, in short, is when banks use the money that we deposit into them and they loan that money out, which can be up to 95%, sometimes more or less, depending on the percentage that they're required to keep on hand. And then they loan that money out to lend to creditors and then charge them interest to use that money. So essentially, the banks are taking your money and making money with it. In some cases, banks may also use that money to invest it, whether that may be into Forex or cryptocurrency stocks, whatever their heart desires. But initially, the short sum of it is that they're using your money to make money. So with leveraging credit, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be using the bank's money to make money. Now, leveraging credit means to use borrowed capital for an investment, expecting the profits made to be greater than the interest payable. Now, one key thing to remember is to never borrow more than you can afford to pay. You will then use the profits from that investment to pay your loan or whatever type of credit you decide to use. The cost, which will be interest, of borrowing credit depends on your credit score and certain factors of that nature, such as income as well. Now, make sure your credit score is high enough to get the interest rate desired. I'm actually going to show you with a loan calculator that I found here on the Experian website. And by the way, I'll leave these links in the description below. But let's say for this example, you have $10,000 in savings. And after you pay all of your bills for the month, you have a surplus or $300 extra. Now, you also have found an opportunity, an investment opportunity, that you'd like to invest $10,000 in. Now, with leveraging credit, instead of using your own $10,000, you're going to use the bank's money to get that $10,000. In this example, we'll be talking about a personal loan, but you also can use a personal line of credit if you have access to it. And some people also like to use cash advances, whether that may be from business credit cards or personal credit cards. But for this example, as you can see, let me first mention that Navy Federal does not sponsor this video, but this is just one of my banks. So as you can see here that for a personal loan, at the highest, it would be 18%. So for all intents and purposes, we're just going to use a high example of 18%. So let's say 10K at 18%, and we're just going to say 5 years. So we'll see that if you were to get a personal loan, it would be $253.93 a month. If you had it out for 60 months, which is 5 years, the interest, if you were to keep it out for the entire 5 years, would be $5,236.06, which means if you were to keep it out for the full term, then you would end up paying back $15,236.06. The goal, of course, would be to pay it off in a faster period so that you don't get stuck with all of that interest. So let's say the opportunity that the individual is looking for, this is an example, is the Novatech PAM account. Now, I have done multiple videos on the Novatech PAM account. I will leave those links in the description if you would like to look into that as well. But this type of investment or this type of PAM account pays anywhere between 2 to 4% weekly, and the payouts are normally on Friday. So in this example, the person invests $10,000, and in the event, let's just say it's paying 2% every week, that's $200 a week or $800 a month. If it's 3%, that's $300 a week or $1,200 a month. And if it's paying 4%, then that's $400 a week, $1,600 a month. Now remember, your loan at $10,000 is $253 and some change. I just rounded it up to $260 just to make it easier here. And 18% is your interest, and 5 years would be the total if you were to play the minimum. Now what we're going to do, because we don't want to pay all of that extra interest, is we're going to pay it off twice as fast. So we're going to make payments of $520, which is going to leave us $280 left per month, which is $3,360 a year. Keep in mind, in this example, you still have not touched the $10,000 in your savings account, and you still have that additional $300 per month that you're not even touching as well. So technically, you'll not have $580, but we're just going to talk about the money coming from the investment. So with this $280, you can now use that money to either pay off high interest debt such as credit cards. You can build an emergency fund. You can invest in other type of equities such as stocks, REITs, dividends, ETFs, mutual funds, or even commodities such as gold, silver, platinum, and buy ounces. You can invest in a RAM account, which is also something I'll talk about in a later video, or even cryptocurrencies, NFTs, or even start an online business such as a Shopify or a Wix store, for example. So, just to do a quick recap, investing does not always require you to empty your savings. You do have the option to leverage credit. Banks make money with your money, so why not do the same? Never borrow more than you can afford. Invest in income-producing assets and create streams of income. And never invest more than you are willing to lose. Investing in general always includes some sort of risk. So this is the end of the presentation. I hope I didn't ramble too much, but you can follow my page on Instagram at Think Income. I have a lot of details there in reference to the PAM account, and then just also general information on finance as well. I will be uploading another video to talk more about the RAM account. And then if you have any questions or concerns about credit accounts in general, refer to my previous video, which I'll have linked in the description. A loan option is not the only option that you have. You can use a line of credit, or if you desire cash advance, but just remember that cash advance comes with certain interest and fees, so be aware of that. Before I go, I just want to remind everybody to put your money to work so that you can make money while you sleep. Thanks for watching. Peace.